Bigfoot, Ed. They want me to kill it.
We're gonna kill Bigfoot.
It's not walking on four legs.
I want to see it.
See what?
There is something out there.
What did it look like? Tell me, what did you see, Kusang? Tell me!
I see what men must not see.
Saw it? Yeah, I saw it. Jesus H. Christ, you satisfied?
Get the lights! Get the lights! There's no credible documented cases of a Sasquatch attack.
Shut up about a Sasquatch.
It's okay. There's nothing out here.
Well, let's continue on with the Bigfoot review series. Nothing yet. Haven't caught a hair of him yet. Hair of the hairy man. So let me get out my trusty little paper here, because I can't remember anything. Soiled from walking and getting sweaty. So, of course, in the last few videos you saw Monstrous and Snowbeast 1977. This is a movie directed by Brian Bro, starring John Schneider, who of course was in Dukes of Hazzard, Danielle C. Ryan, and Paul D. Hunt and Carrie Hawker. So this was a sci-fi original movie, and it's interesting story regarding this movie, as it's not related to the last movie in any way except the name. So let me introduce you to 2011's Snowbeast. Snowbeast stars John Schneider as Jim Harwood, famous for playing Bo Duke in the Dukes of Hazzard, Pa Kent in Smallville, and the son of the sheriff, I believe, in Lake Placid 2. Danielle C. Ryan plays Emmy Harwood, also of The Cat in the Hat, Criminal Minds, and Haunt. Paul D. Hunt plays Rob. Carrie Hawker plays Marcy. Jason Landon plays Barry, also of The Rage, Carrie 2, Dazed and Confused, and Damn Sharks. Sean Carter plays a snowboarder, also known for being in the High School Musical series and Minutemen. Keston Wing plays Tom. Dale Thomas plays Gibbons. Travis Wing plays Dan. Anthony Straga plays Bob. Brittany Wiscombe plays Lisa. Kenneth Hill plays Kenny. Corey Anderson plays Brigham. Becky Diamond plays Tina. Josh Richard plays a skier, also known from Pterodactyl, Aliens in the Attic, Nim's Island, and Johnny English Reborn. And Greg Christensen plays the Snowbeast himself. Snowbeast is directed by Brian Brew. Although this is his first creature flick, he's mainly known for her romantic comedies through Hallmark. Producers include Brian Brew, Bob actor Anthony Straga, Lisa actor Brittany Wiscombe, Elisa Jan, and AGC Pennyworth. Brittany Wiscombe also acts as the film's screenwriter, while editing was handled by Alex Bryant and music through Michael Shumway. Cinematography was handled through Ephraim Smith, visual effects by Rob Field, casting by Ricky Maslow, and costume design by Sanja A. Nelson. Production and distribution was handled through Silver Peak Productions, with a release date of October 4th, 2011, a runtime of 1 hour 28 minutes, and a budget, box office, and home video unknown. The film currently sits with a PG-13 rating with an IMDb rating of 3.5 out of 10, a 13% on Rotten Tomatoes, and also to say on IMDb, so one of the reviews was pretty funny that I read here. The acting is unique, the storyline is unique. I especially enjoyed the complete disregard for the discovery of a body. And if I remember that scene as well, I'll add it here. It was pretty funny, given whichever. Oh, I think I know the particular scene that they're talking about. The film opens similarly to the 1977 film where, like Jennifer, a snowboarder, played by Sean Carter, is killed by the Snowbeast. We then cut to a sunny suburban home where we meet Jim Harwood, played by John Schneider, and his daughter Emmy Harwood, played by Danielle C. Ryan. who has been recently expelled and now must accompany her dad to the Canadian wilderness to study wildlife. As they travel to the research station, we meet fellow researchers Rob, played by Paul D. Hunt, and Marcy, played by Carrie Hawker. Also, in this whole little conversation here, Emmy's a total even for a kid, just a total. As Marcy explains they are having satellite issues, Jim confides that Emmy is acting out after her mom left. We then cut to Rangers Barry and Gibbons arguing over the missing persons cases. Barry believes it's just an animal, and then we meet with our second victim, who chose the wrong place to take a pee. Later, Marcy discovers that none of the satellite tracking tags on the animals are registering, so the team decides to head out and search for dens, leaving Emmy alone in the cabin to stack Fruit Loops. We then cut to a sightseeing couple, who are quickly killed off by the monster. The next day, Emmy goes with the team and finds large footprints in the snow that Jim shrugs off as bear prints. However, Rob offers some skepticism with a roar he heard the previous night. After talking about lynx moms, the group theorized that the lack of snowshoe hares are to blame for the decrease in population. While Emmy asks if instead something could be hunting the lynx, Jim hears some wood knocks and the group turn in for the night. The Snowbeast soon approaches the cabin and trashes the snowmobiles, and later we meet Barry and Gibson while they go to investigate the area and are both killed by the Snowbeast. As Rob and Jim repair a trail cam, Jim falls into a snow cave filled with bones, and as he tries to find another entrance, Emmy sees the creature itself on the monitor. Jim finds the corpse of the missing snowboarder, and he and Rob make it out just as the creature shows up. The group, or at least most of the group, decide to leave the next morning, while Marcy argues they should stay and attempt to study the creature. Jim and Rob discuss the legitimacy of it being a Yeti, but Marcy believes it to be something more of a distant relative, or
maybe a Snowbeast.
Early the next morning, Marcy sneaks out and is confronted by the beast feasting on its last victim. She flees to her vehicle but is ripped out and killed when the monster slams her on the hood of her truck. Rob and Jim realize Marcy is missing but only find her truck, which now won't start, and as they return to the cabin, Emmy reveals that she saw the Snowbeast drag Marcy's body away. And this is the most realistic reaction to a dumb person ever.
Why did she have to go out there looking for that thing?
Jim decides to leave Emmy and Rob at the cabin to get help from town, but on his way he manages to wreck the snowmobile right in front of the creature. And while attempting to trank the monster, he gets knocked out. Emmy and Rob then try to repair the truck, but are unsuccessful. Rob tries, but sucks at consoling Emmy, and it's here that the Snowbeast attacks the cabin. Rob and Emmy barricade themselves in a bedroom as the monster makes its way through the house. Eventually it relents and leaves the pair alone, and they last the night, and Emmy convinces Rob to search for the beast's cave. They set a trap to trank the Snowbeast, with it eventually showing up and Rob hitting it 4 times, putting it to sleep. They find the cave as well as Marcy's dead body, and eventually Jim, who is still barely alive. However, the creature miraculously wakes up and gets into a bitch-slapping contest with the self-sacrificing Rob, who dies the most idiotic death ever. Just death by bitch slap.
Bitch.
The Snowbeast then turns its attention to Jim and Emmy while they run through the woods. An exhausted Emmy grabs a flare gun and shoots a flare at the creature. Jim then fires again, causing an avalanche and buries the Snowbeast under a mountain of snow. We then cut to the Harwoods back at their home, with Jim labeled as a joke and Emmy being bullied, however not defenseless. As they wonder about anyone ever believing them, we cut back to the forest where the Snowbeast breaks free and claims 2 more victims. All in all, the kill count for this film actually sits at 9. All due to the Snowbeast, because this is the first one thus far that, well, we're only 2 movies in, where the beast actually survives. Hardly anything is known about the movie's production. However, after reaching out to anyone I could, I was finally lucky enough to chat with the Snowbeast director, Brian Brew, himself. He was incredibly kind and gave me some much needed insight into the making of the film, so I will quote him right here. I don't have much around anymore with the movie since we filmed it so long ago. It's not a remake of the 1977 movie, we didn't even know about that one when we made this. We just thought it'd be fun to do an Abominable Snowman creature film and called it by the same name, so it has nothing to do with the other movie that was made. Even though, as I said before, even if they did, it's in the public domain, so they could have used everything. And I'll cut to my opinion on that in a second. We talked with the Sci-Fi Channel before producing it, and they gave us some pointers of what to do so it would work better for them. So we tried to incorporate those elements into the film to be sure it could play on sci-fi. The movie was filmed in Utah, and we were fortunate to have a lot of snow that winter, which helped a lot with how much is outside in the snow. Greg Christensen was a great find. We needed someone big enough to play the Snowbeast, and he was great. The costume was big, hot, and heavy, but he was able to manage it and bring the creature to life. John Schneider was a good sport in everything. I think we were a smaller production that he's used to working with, but he contributed with ideas and did all he could to help us make the best film possible. For me, we wanted to try a different genre than our typical romantic comedy. So we brainstormed and thought a creature movie would be fun, but we had to come up with something that was doable with our location and budget. So being in Utah with mountains and snow, the Snowbeast seemed to be a good fit. So all in all, Snowbeast is a fairly enjoyable enough movie, but let's get to the creature first. There's things to give and take from both of these films. They both share the same name and both share a very similar plot outline. And if I'm going to be completely honest, it's like half and half. Although I'm going to say, kind of call him BS that Brian Brew didn't take some inspiration in the original movie. Yes, it could be a major coincidence that both these movies take place in the snow, and you both have Yeti-like monsters that are really shaggy, and it's two skiers, or technically a snowboarder, that gets killed off in the beginning of the movie, and both of your actors are named Bo. Bo Svensson and Bo Duke. So I'm calling BS that there was not some inspiration from Snowbeast 1977. But anyway, to the film itself, well, the creature first. It looks more, I would say it looks more fake than the original, and that's kind of something that is interesting about this movie, or both movies. So they're both made for TV productions, and I think it also comes to play with the directors. Snowbeast does feel kind of like the cinematography, how it's edited, comes off like a Hallmark movie in a way. How the camera pans, how some of the scenes are shot, really does feel like a Hallmark creature flick, and I kind of adore it for that. Although Snowbeast 77 is more, and I'm going to keep comparing them as if they're remakes, even though they're not, even though Brian Brew says they're not, but I'm going to kind of do that just to bounce off each other. The 77 film plays more like a film, if you want to say it, put it that way. The way we only get the view of the creature through the creature's eyes and all that, while Snowbeast, it's more of very upfront slasher kind of action. As well as the gore and everything, we don't really see the gore with the 77 film because everything cuts to red after every death. Unlike we see it with the 2011 movie. Herb Wallerstein kind of plays to his strengths of working with TV productions like Star Trek. It really does feel more like that, even though the acting is definitely, I would say, more atrocious in Snowbeast 77.
What do you base that on? You don't know anything about it.
And then 2011. When it comes down to which one is better, that's really hard to say. If I would say personally, the monster from 77 is better looking, because as I kind of rambled on away from the monster, what it looks like. So the 2011 movie, it's very much a clean bodysuit. You have like the clean face, even though it's more monstrous looking, the red eyes and all that. While the 77 monster is more shaggy. It has this really ape-like, almost dog-like face that's being hidden by the hair, especially when it peeks through the window and when you see it approach and whatnot. Finally, it feels much more like a natural creature than the 2011 movie. So I would say in that regard, the 77 film wins in returns of the monster. Although I still think that they did a really decent job with the monster in 2011. In terms of the film, it's really difficult because, I mean, 77 plays it off more like a Jaws. It plays off more like Jaws. Like, you see the creature's perspective and we see the aftermath, really. While 2011, we see the creature actually attacking. It's more like a slasher. It's Jason going through the woods. Yeti Jason going through the snowy woods. Acting wise as well, they're kind of on. Well, I want to say 2011 definitely has some better acting. The 1977 film definitely has a lot of janky acting, and as well as pacing, especially pacing. 2011, much better pace. We get to every scene in a much more clean fashion, while with the 77 movie, half of the movie is just people on skis going through the wilderness and all of that. That or extremely long dialogue. That, and a lot of times really pointless dialogue. So both films have some give and take. Now, which one I prefer? I kind of want to give it to the 77 movie just because it has that really dated feel to it. It has a more Jaws-esque feel. However, in terms of kills, instead of in terms of gore, I do prefer the 2011 movie because that's what it really achieves with. So all in all, Snowbeast is a decent movie, and it's something I remember watching on Sci-Fi Channel. I remember the premiere on Sci-Fi Channel.
Never saw something out there.
Some legends
We're the first ones to discover this. That's huge.
aren't meant to be found.
It's coming right toward us.
He's moving fast.
Jason London,
You didn't get a better look?
John Schneider.
It's hard to get a better look when you're running for your life.
The sci-fi premiere of Snowbeast, this Saturday at 9, only on Sci-Fi. Imagine greater. Part of the day of creature movies.
I remember watching it and my dad thinking, "Oh man, this is kind of a corny movie," and which both movies are extremely corny to an extent. But I do still enjoy it, especially because I enjoy Bigfoot horror movies, and it's a movie that I really don't mind having play in the background. It's decent enough, and you can watch both of them free on YouTube, even though one's in public domain and one's not. So, thanks guys for watching. Stay tuned for more videos. Thank you to Brian Brew for having a conversation with me on the production of the movie. I mean, because I got these last year. I was talking to everyone last year because I was really expecting everything to be out by then. But he really talked to me last minute. I was literally at work texting him, kind of trying to hide from my bosses, trying to have this conversation with him because I might not have it again. So he answered all the questions I had pretty much in my head, what I could write down right on the minute, and he answered them. And he's a pretty cool guy. As far as I know, he's still working on movies, so I really appreciate him. I actually did talk to Carrie Hawker, but it only lasted for like one sentence. She's like, "Yeah, I'll get back to you." And then 2 weeks later, I text back again. Another week later, I text back again. Nothing. So, unfortunately, I couldn't talk to her. But I would have loved to have talked to John Schneider. He's around some places. But especially because my soon-to-be father-in-law is a massive Dukes of Hazzard fan. Like, he loves the Dukes of Hazzard. So it would have been cool to talk to him. But all in all, this movie, the rating I would give it is, I think, the same as Snowbeast 1977. I think they both get a 5 out of 10 for me. They both have strengths and weaknesses, but they're both enjoyable enough movies that you'll have a good little movie night with. So, stay tuned, guys, for the next Bigfoot horror movie review. It's going to be, it's going to be a crap fest. It's going to be a really terrible movie that we had to get through, but hopefully it'll still be humorous before we get to some really good Bigfoot horror movies. But I figured, let's have some crap in the corn. Yeah, pretty much that. So, let's hit the 10,000 subscriber mark, and happy Halloween.